Everyone is talking about hydrogen transportation that is slowly taking place in the world. But do you know the risks that come with it? Do you think anyone's life is worth staking for such a development? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the explosion of a $1.1 million costing hydrogen bus. Stay with us until the end of the video to learn about it all, and let's get started. A major explosion occurred some days ago at a hydrogen factory in California. 60 residences were demolished or severely damaged by the blast's extreme power. It had a significant effect on those 60 families. After a few more years, there have been numerous further explosions. Not far from the site of the first hydrogen plant disaster, a bus burst recently. And in the community, memories of those 60 damaged homes are still present. This bus that ran on hydrogen recently blew up during refueling. Over the past 30 years, there have been countless hydrogen explosions, even though many people may not be aware of this. The Fukushima nuclear reactor in Japan was even destroyed by one of these explosions. Many individuals still think that hydrogen will be the fuel of the future, despite these tragedies. Certain automakers are totally dedicated to this concept. They think it will not be long until hydrogen technology catches up to that of electric vehicles. According to their vision, cars that run on hydrogen will become the norm. CEOs and other prominent figures in the automobile sector have frequently stated their belief in hydrogen's promise. They're putting a lot of money into hydrogen because they think it'll change transportation as the technology matures. But there are problems with this belief. The explosions draw attention to grave safety issues with hydrogen. Furthermore, electric cars are already well established and getting better every year. This creates a contest between electric and hydrogen power technology. However, there are experts who are adamant that hydrogen will not be successful in the vehicle transportation industry. Although they admit that certain trucking businesses are already testing hydrogen, they believe that hydrogen will eventually be phased out of all forms of road transportation. Regardless of whether they support or oppose the experts' position, they provide multiple justifications for their doubts. The absence of hydrogen-related infrastructure is one of the primary causes, and the EV network is well established, while the hydrogen network is still in its early stages of development. The experts also suggest that 95% of EV charging takes place at home, which is quite handy for users. Replacing a huge battery is a simple procedure that has been carried out successfully. The well-established infrastructure and ease of use of electric vehicles provide a notable edge over hydrogen-powered automobiles. Okay, so think about replacing components in a semi-truck. In less than 2 minutes, a new part is installed after the old one's removed. In the meantime, battery costs continue to decline while their energy capacity continues to rise. Electric automobiles are powered by solar and wind power, both of which are becoming more affordable. So to understand the situation better, let's talk about the tsunami that hit Japan. Massive flooding resulted from it, rendering cooling systems ineffective and taking out emergency power equipment. Water levels dropped as a result of the evaporation of water inside the pressure vessels of reactors 1, 2, and 3 in the absence of cooling. Uranium-filled nuclear fuel rods were exposed as the water level decreased. Hydrogen was produced as a result of the chemical reaction this exposure had with water vapor. The reactor building's interiors began to accumulate hydrogen, which caused explosions in units 1 and 3. The explosions destroyed the walls and ceilings, resulting in massive destruction and converting the space into a nuclear wasteland. The cleanup will take decades to complete. The commotion was exacerbated at Unit 4 when hydrogen from the ventilation system of Unit 3 spilled into the reactor building. The whole thing was a nightmare that led to a serious issue, but optimism exists in the middle of this mess. A better future is indicated by the ongoing decline in battery costs, the increase in energy density, and the decreasing cost of renewable energy sources like solar and wind. These developments may aid in averting similar catastrophes in the future. A reactor building where a buildup of hydrogen caused a huge explosion. Now it's crucial to remember that hydrogen didn't trigger this accident at the Japanese nuclear facility, but it did play a big part. Another important component of nuclear bomb explosions is hydrogen. Numerous hydrogen explosions have occurred in recent years, one of which unfortunately claimed multiple lives in Ohio. It makes sense to be cautious of hydrogen-powered cars after seeing these explosions. We hope everyone who rides on a hydrogen-powered bus or car stays safe. But the explosion that recently occurred in California forced people to think about what might be waiting for them in the future. The hydrogen vehicle that they consider to be the game changer could take their lives, and no one's exaggerating. Just think of sitting in a bus that explodes out of nowhere. What chances do you assume to hold to survive? The possibility for hydrogen to explode is a major worry, as it can be highly deadly. People are apprehensive because of the risks involved, even though it offers a clean energy source, but also assures life clarity at a point. Observing these events emphasizes how crucial safety precautions and ongoing attention to detail are when working with hydrogen fuel. An explosion could occur at a hydrogen filling station if a fire breaks out. This is not purely theoretical. Instances such as those in Norway have occurred previously. A fire broke out as the hydrogen buses were being refueled. According to Golden Empire Transportation Group, the dispensing portion of the hydrogen filling station sustained damage and one bus was destroyed. From the freshly filled bus tanks, explosions could be seen and heard. Nevertheless, the fueling station's main tanks didn't catch fire because of safety technology. The Transit Group CEO, Karen King, stressed that things could have turned out a lot worse. She attributed the damage being contained to the safety measures in place and the Bakersfield Fire Department's prompt response. Thankfully, there were no reported injuries, but King says it's too early to pinpoint the fire's precise cause. About $1.1 million were lost in the fire that destroyed the hydrogen bus. Notwithstanding hydrogen's potential advantages for clean energy, this event highlights the difficulties and dangers that come with using it as a fuel source. Golden Empire Transit purchased hydrogen buses, which are among the priciest buses ever manufactured, with a price tag of almost $1.1 each. 10 of these buses were purchased by this transit organization as part of their transition to fuels with no emissions. It's crucial to remember, though, that the notion that cars fueled by hydrogen are emission-free has been refuted several times in recent months. By 2040, all new cars used for public transportation in California must have zero emissions. The Kern County, California-based Golden Empire Transit has established a special fueling station just for these buses. The EPA hasn't yet calculated how much it will cost to fix the damage that fueling station fire caused, though. Most of the cautions are taken after the accidents take place, and this time it's no different. However, hydrogen-related explosions happened before too, but they were not taken seriously. Because who knew hydrogen would have taken the driver's seat in the future? Now that old memories are haunting the present, everyone is worried and looking for options to prevent such explosions. After all, in the future, we're all planning to use hydrogen vehicles, right? We're not scaring you, we're just talking here. There is a lot of disagreement regarding whether hydrogen will be a major factor in transportation in the future. Nonetheless, it is critical to recognize the effectiveness of the electric buses now in operation. The endurance of contemporary battery technology is demonstrated by the fact that several of these buses have covered hundreds of thousands of kilometers with identical battery packs. Indeed, there is a vibrant Facebook network called the Tesla Mile Club, where owners, some of whom are still utilizing outdated technology, proudly discuss their stories of crossing 300,000 kilometers on their battery packs. After their service life expires, lithium ion phosphate batteries have been known to last even longer. There have been tales of people using LFP batteries from decommissioned buses to power entire homes. This demonstrates the adaptability and sustainability of electric cars in terms of renewable transportation options. However, outside of some areas, such as California, there's still a dearth of hydrogen infrastructure, and what is available is scarce in Europe and Australia. Possibly billions of dollars would need to be invested to build a reliable global network of hydrogen filling stations. The lack of infrastructure in comparison to electric vehicles, which have access to well-established charging networks, makes hydrogen adoption more difficult. Ultimately, the choice between hydrogen and electric transport hinges on infrastructure development, technological advancements, and environmental considerations. As we navigate towards cleaner transportation solutions, these factors will shape the future landscape of sustainable mobility. Hey, we all know these areas of hydrogen transportation, but what are your views on it? Please share with us in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.